Hello, Maitri. Thank you for joining me on this show. Very warm welcome. I hope you're doing well.
Hi, Madhu. It's my pleasure to be with you here. And yes, I'm well.
Yeah, so how is everything going with you? How is the panning and how are you dealing with everything? Hope everything is good at your end.
Yeah, the I think it hasn't been good, or at least we can say it hasn't been kind to anyone this time, at least. Even
Mm,
I got in
mm,
April.
mm,
So it took me 15 days to come out of isolation.
mm,
And when I was, kind of regaining my energy, trying to get back to work and everything, then I lost my father. It was
mm,
completely unexpected, but again, we lost him to
mm,
related complications. So things got tougher, but now I think I'm dealing with it in a better way, especially because it helps that I live far from them. I
mm,
think this is one of the things which is helping me because the I'm removed from the situation. I
mm,
cannot go to my mom's place. I cannot be with my mom, with my brothers and sisters. I can talk
mm,
to them, but I think gravity is situation's gravity is kind of reduced when you're so far, and when you have a 4-year old
mm,
driving you crazy. So yeah.
mm. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I hope you're feeling much better and recovering well from. Yeah, like it gives me a point of view, like probably being in a different place gives you a different kind of situations or daily conundrums to deal with. So that is kind of
Mhm.
giving you a little mental bandwidth, probably.
Mhm. Yes, yes.
So what are the mechanisms that help you in it's a hard thing, like, and how do you cope? Like, what are your coping mechanisms? So what are the things that you do that help you?
I don't know. We did not expect it. I think nobody ever is ready for such a thing.
Mm,
I'm still not sure because I keep thinking about him all the time.
mm,
And
mm,
if I feel happy or if my daughter asks me to dance, so and if I dance with her, if I play with her, I suddenly start feeling guilty that such a big tragedy has happened and I'm enjoying.
mm,
So that guilt is there, but I think it will go away with time because when you have a child at a home, you don't have a choice. You cannot sit around and cry. She hasn't even seen me crying when he died.
mm,
I did not cry in front of her. And in terms of coping, I talked to a few people who are as close to him as I was.
mm,
So we cried together, we talked about him, it helped me. Then
mm,
I was reading a book, it also helped me to in realizing a few
mm,
things about
mm.
life and death and about who we are. So it is kind of philosophical, but
Yeah.
we are just I keep trying to distract myself from
Mm,
thinking about him. Like I will
mm,
find some hobby, I will find some work. Obviously there's a lot of work to do, so things like that, but yes, he's always there on the back of my mind. So yeah, we are coping, but it will take time
mm,
because it's very recent. He
mm.
just died on 12th of May.
Oh,
So yeah, we
mm.
are. I think
Yeah.
we will
What
take
is the
time.
book you're reading?
So it's a book called "The Book Against the Taboo of Knowing Who We Are." I don't exactly remember the name, but it is
Mm-hmm.
something like that. The writer
Mm.
is Alan Watts.
Okay. Okay.
So I started reading it actually earlier in May. I did not start reading it to deal with his death. He was very
Mm,
much there when I started reading that.
mm,
And I finished it recently, and the book has some perspective about our existence and things. So, yeah, I got, some new ideas and it made
mm,
me a
mm,
bit calm.
mm, mm. Yeah, help comes in different forms. Sometimes we are not aware of it, but probably
Mhm.
look at this coincidence that you picked up that book, which eventually helped you with deal with such a huge loss without even anticipating it. But somehow life prepared you for that. Like in some way, there was some help that got your way,
Yeah.
and you picked it up. That interesting. Yeah, like you said, it might will take a natural flow of time or natural flow of events for you to come over it. And sometimes people say it comes back. It's not like you ever forget somebody or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
right? So it's
obviously,
like it's
yes.
always a part of it, always stays with you, but you come to terms with it through different ways.
Mhm.
So yeah, I hope you deal with it your way, and it take your time and go through this through your mechanism. Like you said, talking to people helps a lot, and you guys grieve together, and so that would have been helpful.
Mhm.
So have you been looking after yourself in terms of physical fitness or physical, how you stay sane in terms of everybody is neglecting their bodies, and how do you stay take care of your body, take care of yourself in these times? I like
Okay,
that
for
giggle.
me, it is the opposite. It's the
Hmm.
opposite for me. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I started working out very frequently, very regularly under the guidance of a trainer
Hmm.
towards the end of 2009, 19,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. Okay.
And I lost the maximum weight during the last year.
Okay.
Like I took a weight loss program and I
Hmm.
even spoke about it on my podcast.
Hmm.
With I spoke to my fitness trainers also about on my podcast, and this is something which I already started doing. So I got fitter during the
Hmm.
and I had to stop my workouts due to and
Hmm.
everything
Hmm.
right now because I obviously got hit by it, but now I have started again, but
Hmm.
I'm not doing anything extensive. I
Okay.
have started with simple yoga. I have joined a class and
Hmm.
they give you simple stretches, yoga asanas,
Hmm.
pranayam. So I'm
Hmm.
doing that, and eventually I will get back to my dumbbells because I love strength training.
Hmm.
So I will get back to it. It's not that I am the fittest person or something like that, but once I started regular workouts,
Hmm.
I started enjoying them, and the effect that they showed in terms of fitness, in terms of looks, I kind of got addicted. Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
that did not affect me in terms of fitness,
Hmm.
if I can say, yeah.
It's actually on the contrary. Yeah, it looks like it, right? So, and like you said, probably we may not be the fittest, but we are always the better version after the workout. So
Yeah.
it's probably tougher before you do it, but after that you'll emerge always stronger and fitter. You feel better and all that. There are all these positive, healthy side effects of doing a workout, right? Okay, so do you do the strength training at home, like from home, or do you also go to the
Yes,
gym?
yes. Nahin,
Okay.
I used to go to the gym earlier in 2009. I went for 4 5 months, I think, but after that, I could not continue due to many
Hmm.
reasons. But
Hmm.
I have dumbbells and everything at home. I had trainer guidance
Hmm.
for 9 months, and
Right. Okay.
I trained under them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. So, let's talk about mental well-being. Like these are the different aspects. Like one, we are focusing on something, and something else, something may not be on the track as much. So, what is your take on mental well-being, and how do you handle your daily stress or anxiety? So, what's your coping mechanism for that?
I honestly don't have a set coping mechanism for everything,
Hmm.
but in terms of mental well-being, I was very neglecting of everything related to mental health. I did not put much, emphasis on it earlier. Like when I was a new mom, also, then I did not realize much of it. But last year, I think it just dawned on me in a very different way. Like I started getting aware after becoming a mom, but last year I became aware in a very different way. And I even took therapy
Hmm.
last year to cope with my anxiety. My therapist said that you have generalized anxiety disorder.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of people have anxiety right now. These
Hmm.
maybe the has made them more anxious. So yeah,
Hmm.
I took therapy and I openly talk about it on my Instagram page and
Hmm.
on my podcast, Little Fixes. So I talk about it and I have shared my experiences with therapy. I invited a friend to talk about her experience with therapy. And I feel that you have all the people in your life, you have all the books and everything. But if you take professional help, nothing like that,
Hmm.
because a professional knows what goes on in our
Hmm.
minds and our brain, and they
Hmm.
help in their own way. and if
Hmm.
needed, they also give you medicines.
Hmm.
So there is no taboo to therapy and things like that for me.
Hmm.
And I have taken it, I have talked about it, and I always encourage people to take care of their mental health.
Right. Yeah, that's a very valid point. Like, there is a lot of help. We have support systems. We talk to people, but the therapists are there for their whatever they're specialized in, like how to, they know how exactly they can help you. Like, they may know the right words, tools, and there's a lot of thing that they can customize for you depending on what your needs are. But how did you realize, like you said, after you had a baby, probably some kind of a postpartum depression or anxiety, which probably but you kind of noticed it, but you okay kept it aside, the life continued, and then what made you realize and okay, seek actively seek help? What was the trigger, or what made you notice, sit up and notice, okay, I need help?
Hmm. That was due to my anger issues. Like I get
Hmm.
angry very easily, and I'm very prone to overthinking. I'm very prone to kicking myself if I commit
Hmm.
even the smallest mistakes.
Okay.
So those were some of the things that those patterns kept coming back, and my husband
Hmm.
kept telling me, "You have some problem. You can talk to me about it, and we
Hmm.
can discuss it." But somehow I was not ready to talk to him about everything. I don't know why. We have been married for the last 10 years, but
Hmm.
still I did not feel like talking about everything to him.
Hmm.
And then I decided that if even if he's saying that I need help, I have a problem, then
Hmm.
there's certainly is a problem, because he's very open and he's very very supportive. He did not mean
Hmm.
it in a negative way.
Hmm.
He meant it in a very supportive way, and
Hmm.
that's when I decided to take therapy. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's great. Yeah, sometimes, like you said, your husband, you probably trust him with everything else, but there was something that was holding you back, and you realized probably I need to seek help outside of this relationship. And sometimes there is a professional who can help me with this. And yeah, if people think they can actively seek help outside of families, it's always a fair thing to
Yeah,
do
and you
for
know
themselves.
what? After taking therapy,
Mm,
I got the courage to discuss those issues with my husband also. Like my therapist
mm,
said that you can tell this to your husband, like you can
mm,
talk to him about it.
mm,
And now I think we talk about more of my issues. I am more
mm,
open with him. Like when I
mm,
lost my father also, I was more vulnerable with him. Something which I have learned recently, and it
mm,
has helped me.
mm. Yeah, I mean, look at it. Like, you kept everything out for us to hear right now on this platform, even with little knowledge of who, I mean, you're not aware who could be listening in, but you are so vulnerable and kept the story out for people to listen in and take anything out of it and help themselves. And thank you so much for that. Yeah. And so I hope that you're in a better, much equipped place to handle your anger issues and anxieties right now.
Voice got cut off. Can you repeat the question?
So I think I'm sure that the therapy must have helped you better manage your anger or your anxieties, and that must have placed you in a better position and more control of how you handle it and more ways to handle it, etc., right?
Mhm. Yes, yes, it certainly helps. And you don't, if you're not comfortable talking about therapy, it's okay. You don't have to tell everyone कि मैं therapy ले रही हूँ, I'm taking
Mm,
therapy. You don't need to tell everyone. You can take it for yourself, because you
mm,
need to take care of yourself. And it helped
mm,
me. I will not say that I'm free of anger
mm,
or free of my anxiety, but I'm more aware of what is going on in my mind. So I keep try I keep trying to stop myself. I can listen to my emotions, not like
mm,
I have turned into a psychiatrist or something, but I'm more aware, a bit
mm,
more mindful, which helps me in
mm,
maybe 60% of events when
mm,
I
mm,
suddenly
mm.
get angry. But in 40% of events, I still lose it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's always a work in progress, right, Maitri? So it's not like we are not like it's not there's no switch. It's not like an
Mhm.
on and off. So it's always a work in progress. So I'm sure sooner or later we'll all be more or less where we want ourselves to be. So that's the journey we are about. So do you have any practical ways of shifting your mood? For example, you find you're in low in energy or something. So are there any practical ways you shift your mood or shift your energy? What do you do to shift your mood or energy?
For that, I mostly dance. Like I will put
Mm,
on some beat wala Bollywood song and I will dance to it with my daughter, or I will color in
mm,
an adult coloring book, or I will play with her, or I will read something, things like
mm,
that. I have to, divert my mind from the issue
right.
for some time, and then I get back to the work.
Mm, okay.
Just give me
Okay.
a moment. My
Yeah,
daughter
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. Mm.
yeah. Huh? You were asking something?
Yeah, about the ways you express yourself or you find shift your mood practically. How do you shift your
Hmm.
mood? So you said
Yeah, yeah,
dancing.
I just mentioned them. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
okay. So so do you find it easy to find joy? Sometimes these days it's very gloomy sometimes, and people are struggling to pick up some hobby they're already into usually, but otherwise, but these days they're finding it hard to find something joyful. So how is your experience with that? Do you find it good and fun to pick up your hobby or put on to a dance number and dance, and how easily is it coming to you considering everything around?
I think that's the easiest thing to do right now if you have time.
Right.
Right, because I have work all day. I have
Mm,
client calls or work, everything is there. Then as I shut all my work by 6 in the evening, and after
mm,
that I am with my home. Like I'm present
mm,
there. I'm cooking or I'm playing with my daughter, things like that.
mm,
So I think it's about finding time for yourself. It's not always mandatory that you have to be alone, shut in a
mm,
room, तभी आप कुछ कर सकते हो. It's not like
mm,
that. If
mm,
you have, even if you're playing with your daughter, your complete attention is in that moment. It
mm,
helps. It helps a
mm,
lot.
mm,
And one thing which I learned last year also is the power of gratitude. It is
mm,
everywhere. Like everyone is saying they are practicing gratitude, which is great. I even practiced that with a book, The Secret.
mm,
I don't exactly remember the name. So I practiced a few days of gratitude with that book also. And now, whenever I feel sad
mm,
about something, then I think about something positive in my life right now,
mm,
and it helps me get a perspective
mm,
that if not this, I have this.
mm,
If not, that is not working out, but I still have something.
mm,
And I recently read a book called Soundtracks
mm,
by John Acuff. In
mm,
that book, he has given practical ways to deal with overthinking.
mm,
I think most of us are overthinkers also these days.
mm.
So he gave some affirmations and things like that, and I have written down a lot of things which I have
Hello?
is always hello.
Yeah, your
Your
voice
video got
broke.
stuck.
Hmm. Okay,
Okay.
affirmations.
Yeah, so he has given some affirmations, practical ways to deal with the negative thinking and turn your soundtrack, like negative soundtrack
Hmm.
that goes on in your head.
Hmm.
And there are a lot of things, but one thing which now I repeat to myself is is everything is always going my way.
Hmm. Right.
So or he has also suggested that every time something goes your way, even if it is the smallest thing,
Hmm.
write it down. But I
Hmm.
still haven't started writing the things down. But yes,
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
if I'm feeling negative, I'm like, everything is always going my way. Everything is
Hmm.
always going right for
Hmm.
me. So I,
Hmm.
I think like that, and it perks me up a bit. That
Right.
is a very
Okay.
practical thing, and it is helping me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like it's like the maximum time anybody spends with is themselves, their own mind, the tape that plays in your mind. So it better be good for yourself, right? So it's like that.
Mhm.
And whatever you're looking for in a day, you'll find most of it. If you're looking for complaints, there are like 100 complaints in a day, but there's a lot of elements of grace, and there's something you can be grateful for in each day. Like you said, if something is not going in your way, not going your way, there are definitely certain things that you already have, but sometimes we overlook them or take them for granted.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
always good to pause and reflect, what is here that's going for me, right? Yes. So what's your routine like? What's your favorite, like these typical three four things you have to do in a day which you love doing it, and your day is like a bit empty if you don't do that? Do you have anything like that?
One thing that I enjoy doing these days the most is
Mm,
reading. Like
mm,
I'm reading more these
right.
days. So that is one thing which I enjoy doing now that I'm back to working out. This is another
Mm,
thing that I work out.
mm,
Another thing that I enjoy is being with my daughter, like playing with her. I cannot say that I spend a lot of time with her. She
mm,
keeps playing near me, but we don't get to interact a lot. But yes, I try to spend time with her, maybe 30 minutes, very consciously that I'm
mm,
present with her. I'm talking to
mm,
her only, I'm not anywhere
mm,
else. So I look
mm,
forward to those things. Then, when my husband comes back in the evening, then we three play together. It's not a very structured kind of play. We just talk
mm,
together, do silly things. So
mm,
those are the few things which work me up also, and which also, give me something to look forward to in every day besides the routine which come
mm,
with households and the routine
mm,
things which come with the client work. I enjoy
mm,
doing the client work obviously
mm,
because I I chose this profession for myself.
mm,
But again, when you keep doing something, it gets into a routine. So these are the few things which help me in breaking that monotony.
mm. Yeah, let's just say it's not the routine chores and all those activities, but just the rhythm that you want in your day. Like you said, if you're in the middle of something, you may chat with your daughter, but it's not like you're completely present with her, but taking time out and being fully with them. And kids definitely know the difference between both.
Oh, she immediately stops me. Like if I
Yeah.
say she asks me something, Mama, how's this? I will say, She's like, Mama, mat bolo, ha bolo. Look here and say
uh,
ha. Don't say
mm.
So she understands.
Yeah, they have a great perception, and they can immediately figure out any subtle nuances in the way of change in your tone, the way you're looking at them, the way you're giving them half a nod or something. They can figure it out. So it better be fully present with them, or tell them, give me half an hour, I'll be with you. So they rather wait for that half an hour where they can exclusively have you than have you in half measures. So
Hmm,
that's always there. Yeah, being present, actually, it's there are these, everybody is trying to be present in the present moment, and that's where the power is. That's what everybody tells you. So it's a practice, we'll get there. And
yes, yes.
yeah. And yeah, thank you so much for taking out time and letting us into your personal narrative. And it's really helpful to chat with you. Thank you for taking out time. Thank you so much. And
Okay, thank you, Madhu, for having me. And if your listeners and viewers want to connect with me outside of this video, they can connect with me on Little Fixes podcast. This is my podcast. I have an Instagram page with the name of Little Fixes Podcast, and also the podcast is available on all major podcast platforms. It is a lifestyle magazine for urban Indian women.
mm,
So whatever your issues are, like we try to provide little fixes, small things that
mm.
you can do to deal with your day-to-day life. So that is one of the things. It is my passion project, and I hope your listeners, your audience, find something valuable in that also. And Madhu, thank you again for having me.
I'm sure. And all these small things are what keep us sane and together and connected. And I'll leave your details in the description wherever I share this video so that people can reach out to you. Thank you so
Sure,
much,
sure.
Maitri. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.